It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Okay, I'm going to start out with a metaphor. You're at the psychiatrist's office. You're talking to the psychiatrist, and all of a sudden the psychiatrist starts to cry, bawling like a baby. You're sharing the box of Kleenex. You're thinking to yourself, what the hell's going on here? I came here so I could share my problems, and this person would help me get through the problems. I didn't come here so this person would climb in the problem bus with me. Or worse, the psychiatrist says, sit tight, I'm going to go get 2 ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, as I watch my friends in the Document Imaging channel pivot into IT services, I have a concern. And the concern is that there's a lot of folks that are way too emotionally involved with end users' problems to the point they'll solve them even if it costs them money to do it. You know, we get so upset. We're so obsessed with either beating out a competitor because we think the competitors are terrible competitors, so we're going to do everything we can to win against this competitor even if we lose money doing it. We've all been in that scenario where you're talking to the sales manager, you're saying, I can't believe this company went in there and took our customer. I mean, how are they making any money? We've all done this, right? And your sales manager says to you, well, it's fantastic. If we're going to lose to a competitor, we want to make sure the competitor is too stupid to do the math. Okay, let them lose money. We're not going to lose money. That would be a mature dealership that says that, right? But ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to get into IT services, you got to forget about all the emotional impacts of all the dysfunctions you're going to find. And lately we've talked a lot about leasing. And we're trying to change the leasing laws in the Document Imaging channel to make it easier for buyouts and all this crazy stuff. Here's the reality, folks. None of that crap's ever going to change. It's not. You know what's going to change? Is different people delivering products and services, solving problems into the marketplace in a different way than 5-year leases that are prematurely upgraded. That's what's going to change. But financial engineering is what I call it, will always continue. When you go into a technology account, you're going to find things like ISP providers that won't let them out of a contract. And maybe you want to put them in another ISP. Are you going to call up the ISP and scream because they got automatically renewed for a whole nother year? You're going to find software providers. They don't care if the people left. They're still charging them for the licensing because that's how it works. Are you going to call up Microsoft and start screaming at them? Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find all kinds of things. You're going to find telephony problems and dysfunctions. You're going to find out that they've been using a backup service and they're paying so much damn money and they're not backing up enough stuff. Are you going to call up the backup company and say, hey, can we get a rebate back because they didn't use it the way they were paying for it? No, you're going to find all kinds of dysfunctions. That's what IT service providers try to solve. They go in and they solve these problems, but they make sure the customer pays for the solution. And they don't give a crap about what the current solution is. They don't care at all. They don't care about how it was priced. They care about how are they going to deliver that customer exceptional IT services and products, keep that customer safe and compliant. And once they figure out how they're going to do it, they're going to put a price to it. And the price they put to it is going to make sure they make enough profit doing it. And they're not going to care one iota, if it costs twice as much as the customer's paying right now. They're not. They're going to walk away before they sacrifice their profit. They're going to say no more than they say yes. And this is the issue with the Document Imaging channel. For a lot of folks, we've been so competitive for so long, driving the price to the bottom, that we become obsessed with saving people money. We're obsessed with it. In IT services, very, very rarely are you going to save people money if you're delivering a quality product and services. Because you're going to be bringing them stuff to the table that they're not even paying for now. So you're going to cause them an increase. I'm going to talk about vendor managing print equipment in future episodes. But here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. I want you to think about this. If you're an IT service provider that's also a print provider, you do an assessment and account, a fee-based assessment, and you find out this particular account's in an evergreen lease, a dysfunctional program. It doesn't really matter what the scenario is, but it sucks for the end user. It's not up to you to lose a bunch of money to fix what sucks. So maybe you could just vendor managing what sucks for them right now. Maybe you could tell that customer, you know what, we have our own help center and part of our technology deliverable, we'll vendor manage your print contract. So just have your people call our help desk and then we'll call that print provider and get them out there to service that print equipment. Vendor manage the print provider. Boy, wouldn't that be something to do to your competitor? You could do it. You're not going to be able to do it if you're outsourcing your help desk to some third party probably. But I'm talking about those dealers that are really delivering IT services. Those dealers that have built infrastructures to vendor manage, because that's what IT services is. Some of the stuff you do yourself, the other stuff you vendor manage. The trick is to have control over all the technology spent in the customer's office, and print's part of that spend. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, you could go into an account. You could do a whole technology refresh, do the whole thing. They're on a services agreement with you. And you're just vendor managing the print until that crazy evergreen lease is over with. And now you go in there and sell them the print, or you might realize, because you've been vendor managing it, we don't even want the print business. The print, who cares? Let the other vendor have it still. We'll just make sure they do a dollar buyout lease this time. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things we can do as we move into IT services. But one thing we better not be doing is crying on the couch with the client. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.